Is it somebody right on my call? This is the moment you're meant to know.
Now, guys, I 100% came on to do a reading on Jelly Roll and the divorce between him and Bunny XO, which I'm gonna get to it after the recording of this video. However, I go on TikTok because I told myself in order to do this video or that video, I need video footage to do it justice. And honestly, guess who appeared on my feed? I'll just have to play the video footage. Lil Nas X popped up on my video on my TikTok For You page and reminded me that I forgot that he is back and making a comeback. And as this caption has said, I'm not sure if you can see that he says that even though he is out, he is what? Making a comeback to music. Now, I had the music muted, but I think that was a sample or a little teaser of his song that he's probably going to drop, an unreleased song. Why do I say that? Because it just sounds like Lil Nas's music, honestly. Lil Nas, can you update your discography, please? But I get it. But anyway, I digress. It's Lil Nas X. It's his brand anyway. So that's what I'm here to do a reading on today. Lil Nas X, because goodness gracious, could we not have forgotten the fact that he had basically a mental breakdown walking down, I think basically butt naked by the end of it, down Hollywood Boulevard, was it? And then had to go in. But as you see from this video footage that had caught my attention to say, hey, peekaboo, remember me, Lil Nas X. Here's the video footage that he released just 3-4 days ago, celebrating his return.
I've been in rehab for a few months, and since then I've been, back at home, whether it's in Atlanta with my family or in Los Angeles with myself and friends and whatnot, and trying to ground myself down to earth and get out of my head. I have a therapist now and a psychiatrist, which has been really helpful.
Also, even though we're at the very end of June, happy Mental Health Awareness Month for men. So congratulations to Lil Nas X for seeking a therapist as well to continue his mental health. So, even though we're just at the end of June, if you have any male friends out there, you never know. They just might suddenly fall off a 8-story foot building. So, you just got to check up on people these days, men specifically, but just people in general. So because of that, let's continue on. And I'm really glad and happy for Lil Nas X. And that's why I'm here to do a reading on him today, because I want to see how is his mental from then to now. And is he really ready to come back?
When I got my bipolar disorder diagnosis, I feel like I had known for like the past few years, but I didn't want to admit to it because I didn't want to have to take medication and I don't know how people think different of me. I mean, I'm already like black and gay. Like, damn God, give me like, come on, black, gay, bipolar. Like, I'm like living life on like extreme hard mode.
But yeah, you can see it was about like a 3-minute video, I think it was, but you can go check it on his TikTok or released by TMZ, anywhere you can really find it on the internet. But those were just little snippets of Lil Nas X. And with that being said, I am here to do a reading on Lil Nas X. Okay, I was going to use a different deck, but my mom currently has them in her bedroom. So we're going to stick to the cards I've been using lately. But you know what? That's okay. Let's just see. Little Nas X, Little Nas X. Are you truly ready to come back to X? Since X is always Martha Spot, or X is always the hidden mysterious it factor that you got to work and seek and delve deep into to figure out, like Planet X, Disease X, Chemical X. I mean, come on, Little Nas X. Okay, can we see the themes here? Pumpkin spice and everything nice, and then oopsie some Chemical X. I'm sorry, I had to bring the Powerpuff Girls in there. But anyway, no, for that's actually a really weird reference. But yeah, no, for real. So let's just do a reading and pull some cards on Little Nas X to see how this is meant to. I feel like I'm doing good right there. I really had to bring it back to the childhood and nostalgia right there. Of course, I pull out the Page of Wands. Speaking of that child, talking about the Powerpuff Girls and that inner child, we see that kind of energy with Little Nas X, but it's more of a, not like an inner child. I mean, sure, it could have been like in touch with his inner child, because like he said, he's felt like he's known this for a while, but he just wasn't ready to accept it or deal with it. I hope you didn't see that. I didn't. But, and if you did, tell me if you're surprised what part it fell in. But anyway, no. When it comes to the Page of Wands, I just feel like Little Nas X is when it comes to his mental health, it's a journey that he's been working on, and he feels like a child at it. But also now that he is seeking help and is actively seeking a therapist, he feels more creatively free because the brain fog is finally gone. And maybe that's why he doesn't want to take the medication, because usually people that are medicated like that and have creative gifts say that the medication dulls their creative gifts, yet they need to be on it. So, it's that double-edged sword. So Little Nas X is probably working very close with a therapist so that way he can be off the meds. But also at the same time, it is allowing him, he now has a new breath of fresh air. Like he feels like a new Little Nas X. Like he felt like a new one back when he was making his album and he birthed, Montero. That was one version of him. Now we've evolved from Montero. We got another version of Little Nas X, and that's the Page of Wands. So let's see what this new unveiling of Little Nas X we see. Is this Little Nas X 3.0, 4.0? Like what phase of Little Nas X are we in? We see the King of Swords, interesting. The Five of Pentacles, the Two of Wands, the 10 of Swords. I'm really not liking these cards for Little Nas X. But you know what? It's all a balance. Two of Pentacles, so it's not a surprise. So honestly, these outside cards are going to tell it all to me. And really, like I said, I'm just checking in on Little Nas X and his mental to see how is he doing now that he has had a alleged breakdown and is now allegedly recovering from his alleged breakdown. Allegedly. So because of that, I'm pulling some cards to see how he is in the coping recovery journey process of it all. So this is really just what is going on with his mental around him inwardly, just everything. We have we have the Ship, we have the Anchor, very fitting cards to come out in a pair. Oh, a Rider, and then we have the Clover. And the Clover is really beautiful because it represents the hopefulness that Little Nas X still has within inside of himself, which brings us back to this Page of Wands, despite everything around him I don't like. So what do we see at the very bottom? Well, underneath the Page of Wands, we have the King of Swords. So you have to wonder, what does that mean? This could be very much a facade that Little Nas X puts on, because This could represent the hidden things, but also the foundation. So inwardly, Little Nas is this King of Swords within him. Yet the King of Swords is portraying an image to the outer world, us, as the Page of Wands. So that tells me that he is in more control of himself, his thoughts, and his actions, even though he still has the same chaotic, sporadic behavior. That's just Little Nas's X brand and him internally, while he's still in the process of getting it worked on, as the Two of Pentacles reigns on top of it all. The Page of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles definitely tells you don't have it all together. You're still in the infant stage, the baby stage, the growing stage of it all. But all at the same time, at the very bottom, there's the King of Swords. Maybe he could be having some really solid foundational coaching from a therapist. But because I'm doing a reading on Little Nas X with inside of himself internally, the King of Swords, he is willing to take on challenges that he once would have shied away from. Once you finally get the help, once you finally get the therapy, once you're finally able to acknowledge, you're able to confront, you're able to take action, you're able to look the beast and monster in its ugly face and things like that, all those things that they say. So because of that, Little Nas X has gained some internal strength, even though I do not see it here yet. Because right here, what do we see? The Five of Pentacles. He was very barren just within inside of himself. He was on E, empty. Little Nas X overexerted just his self every sense of the way. That's why he crashed out. He expended himself emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically, just physically as in being talent wise. So just all those things combined together led to a burnout, led to a Five of Pentacles. And growing from there, the Five of Pentacles is pretty burned, pretty dead. Nothing grows in the snow except for those things that grow in harsh, extreme, hard conditions. How funny he mentioned that. But from there, we see the flame is lit yet again, and the snow is melting away. The bad times, the ice age is melting away. The old Little Nas X that was crashing out, that was just doing the most. That's the best way I'm going to put it. You understand, just based off of how the media was, how everyone was just starting to have extreme reactions to him. And shortly after, people having such reactions, talking about him, and it was like nobody could keep Little Nas's name out of their mouths. Shortly after that, what had happened, he went on overdrive, and next thing you know, he has to be hospitalized, and now he has came out and says that he is this new person. So because of that, we had to reach rock bottom, Five of Pentacles, to get back up the Page of Wands. And it is a battle. It is a journey, a Two of Pentacles, especially when you choose to go the unmedicated route. However, as long as you have a solid foundation, a strong sense of self, a strong sense of community around you, somebody that can give you wise counseling advice that is subjective and that is objective and not subjective, then therefore you are able to be having a sense of guidance that is not going to lead you down a path. However, all that is good and said, right? However, we went from the Five of Pentacles, barren, to life, gleaming, booming again. Page of Wands in the beginning infant stage, even the Two of Pentacles to back it up. However, guess what? In the future, we have the Ten of Swords. However, the Ten of Swords tells you that all is not gone, not is all not lost. And that's exactly where Little Nas X is, even though this is in his future. And usually you don't want to see the future in the you don't want to see the Ten of Swords in the future, because usually that means something is still going to come to an end. However, I choose to see it, as I said, with this balancing of that Two of Pentacles. We'll see how time plays out, how it truly sways in his favor. Because, like I said, if he really has the strong, solid sins of the King of Swords, then the King of Swords triumphs over the Ten of Swords. So we can overcome or steer away from another crash out moment, another Five of Pentacles. But instead of it being destitute in his career and everything is halted, it'll be like a mental crash within inside of himself where he gets overworked, overloaded from trying to get back into the music industry. Even though he really wants to get back to the creative drive, it's like a little too soon. It's like a teeter-totter. It's like a careful there, buddy. But we see here is the ship card, which usually represents commerce, making money moves, making deals, carrying that bag, getting the cheese, however you want to say it, getting that dough. But all of the above, we see here that the ship is in the past, right above the Five of Pentacles, almost like those deals was trying to go shoo out the picture for him. But don't worry, it's going to make its way back into the future. Because we see the anchor here, because he was still trying to solidify it down. He was still trying to anchor it down. You know, when everything is, that's why he crashed out. Usually when everything is going awry, what do you try to do? You try to anchor down and hold on something so that way something is solid. And what was solid in his career? His music career. So all that's what he did. He was like music, publicity, name, extra, keep doing this, keep doing that. As long as I do that, I'm relevant. And where does that usually lead you to? A burnout, because the media gets tired of you, period, because it's just Lil Nas X everywhere. It's like every other article is Lil Nas X. But also it's just a burnout for him, because that's way too many opinions, way too many thoughts, way too many critiques for somebody. And if he so truly has I'm not denying his mental health issues, but if he truly does have mental health issues, especially bipolar, where you go from manic to oh my god, what is the opposite of manic? We have manic, and when you're not manic, it's going to come to me. But because of that, we have those two, manic and depression, the two extremes. So because of that, we have those two extremes. And if he's going through those and having so many different opinions and so many people's eyes and comments, and you know, celebrities look through the comments, no matter how much they try to not look at the comments, he's going to still look at those comments, and it's going to eat away at him internally. And then it's like, all that. You see how the hole just keeps burying itself deeper and deeper and deeper. So because of that, really somebody like Lil Nas X doesn't need to be in the spotlight. However, he feels as though he has the God-given talents and gifts. Hey, he does. He blew up. He somewhat had that it factor to get all of our attention. And who knows, maybe he really did sign a contract. You can never know with the, so because of that, you know, he could have been with them, and they will lead you to a faster crash out than any other part of the industry, because that's really selling your soul out there. And you remember he was selling those demon shoes with allegedly real blood in it. So he was down deep in it, literally down a pole deep in hell. So because of that, we knew he went off the deep end. He was so far gone, it was actually hard to bring him back. So because of that, that was the far extreme. And when, like he said, that's why I'm like, I could see the bipolarness. So with all that, having attention on him is going to play that effect. And that's why I say in the future, I can see how he could become the Ten of Swords, mentally trying to come back to the industry, even though he feels like creatively, and he feels passionate, and he feels energized to do it all. Is like they say, are you going back too soon, and are you pushing yourself too quickly before you fully healed and recovered, is what I'm asking Lil Nas X. Because what we see here, moving right on along, is the messenger card. And the messenger card is exactly that, a message that is going to be delivered. Now, is this a message that's going to be delivered to Lil Nas X, or is this a message that Lil Nas X is going to deliver to us, the general audience? Maybe his music is a message. Who knows what his music is going to be talking about? Who knows? Maybe, like I said, who knows? He could have the same old Lil Nas pandemic sound, but talk completely different lyrics. So because of that, We have to see what he's going to bring, what he's going to offer. Is he really going to unload on his music? You know how celebrities use the music as a form of releasing, a form of therapy, because they love music, and that's their best way to formally express themselves. So let's really see, when Little Nas X comes back, what is it going to entail? Is it going to be dark? We already know his theme. Is he still going to be in that, or is he going to be like emerging from that? We know celebrities are doing butterflies, snakes, metamorphosizing. So because of that, what's Little Nas's symbol going to be next? But what we see here, out despite all of that, is the clover, and the clover symbolizes hope. He could be the one wishing for hope, but there's also some hope for Little Nas X. But also the clover can symbolize, think about, it's like the chances and the odds of finding a clover in the field, a 4-leaf clover. Now you see the 4-leaf clover. Now usually you see clovers pretty easy, but you don't see ones that come with a 4-leaf. And maybe that's the trick, the wild card that Little Nas X has underneath his sleeve, that it factor that keeps drawing us back to him, and what keeps drawing him back to the public eye. Some people are just destined to be famous and to be in the public's eye and to do what they do. And Little Nas X feels that way. That's the way the cards are coming off. But sometimes being destined and doing what you're really supposed to do can come. Not saying that it's supposed to come with a burden, but get in there. The process of not exposing yourself, but shedding yourself as you're growing and coming into the new person that you're supposed to be is tumultuous. It's troublesome. It's hard to get through. You have the ups and downs. You think you're never going to make it to the very end, and then you finally do. So because of that, is that the journey that Little Nas X is on? That, like I said, he's been having this internal battle with himself all along. 2 of Pentacles shows that very much. But could that internal war all be related to the fact that he is meant to be famous? And like I said, weirdly enough, he should not be famous despite all the things that he has. Not saying that people that have mental health issues should not be famous because they can't handle the limelight, people like Kylie Jenner or like Kendall Jenner, who have extreme anxieties and stuff like that. And you hear celebrities say that they actually have stage fright, yet they still get on the stage anyway. It's amazing the things that celebrities can do. So all those things. I'm looking at Little Nas X and his testimony, where he's coming from, the journey that he's gone through. And it's like he said, he's listed a lot of things. He listed 3 things specifically that he has wrong with him. There's probably more listed, but that's the 3 he's willing to publicize. So because of that eternal war, that eternal conflict, and yet you still gotta have that public eye on you. And when the public eye's on you, the people are gonna dig more. Everybody's gonna want to know more. You gotta share more. So it's that tug, that pull. How much do I share? How much do I give? How much is me? How much do I even know me? I'm getting lost in the sauce with everybody else because I'm trying to fit in, because I'm trying to get to the top and fit in. So all those different things that Lil Nas had to fix. And when they say you blow up on fame like that, and he blew up on fame like that overnight, basically, usually you really do have a really hard crash out because you didn't have the time to acclimate and adjust yourself and get used to the milestones. You didn't get to take the little bit of steps along the way. You just went from here to here. You took the elevator, not even the elevator, you took the rocket and went shoo, and just skipped all the other paths. So usually when that happens, you're gonna, as quickly as you accelerated, as quickly as you're gonna fall even harder down when the crash comes. So that's exactly what allegedly that Little Nas X had, and that I'm seeing in these cards. But all that to be said, because like I said, the future gives me the 10 of Swords energy, but I'm saying how the mental aspect could still toll on him, even though he's physically and creatively ready to get back at it? Is he mentally ready to get back at it? The cards are still saying it's questionable and it's up in the air, not because he's not medicated, probably, but just simply because it could be too soon and he's still in the beginning stages of working with himself and getting comfortable and acclimated with himself. So before he has finally found self, he's ready to go back. And he needs to find self before he goes back, because it could conflict along with the journey. But as long as he, like I said, King of Swords at this foundation, whether this is him internally or he has an outside support team that's giving him some solid, clear advice that is objective, that is going to be able to help him move through and triumph over the Ten of Swords. So only time will tell, and we'll see. And like I said, time will tell also with his music, what his music brings to us mentally, emotionally. How do we feel when we listen to his music? Is it still the same? Is it different? Well, who knows? With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. It will really mean a lot to the channel. Please and thank you. And now I will get right on along to my video of Jelly Roll and Bunny XL. So if you want to see that, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And honestly, subscribe if you enjoyed this video, my commentary, and what I had to say about Lil Nas X. And hey, let me know, are you surprised Lil Nas X is back? Did you know he was back? Did you even know? Yeah, actually, just did you even know? Did you even remember Lil Nas X? You know, it's just like, Lil Nas X, who? So because of that, do you even remember who he is? But with that being said, leave all that down below, comments down below, thumbs up, and you know what we say before I go. Hype us up, subscribe to us, and don't forget to thumb us up.